Thanks for tuning in tonight. A good Tuesday evening, September the 15th, 2020. We are dealing with Hurricane Sally on its approach to the Alabama coast and the northwestern Florida panhandle as it is maintaining its strength as a Category 1 hurricane. And the big story with this storm is going to be the rainfall. And with it being a slow mover, you can see from this satellite loop just in the past few hours, barely moving at all, and continuing to crawl northward at about 2 miles per hour. And, at first this wasn't going to be a huge issue for North Carolina, but it looks like as the remnants of Sally continue to move up and out toward the northeast, which I'll show you in a few minutes, it's going to produce a lot of rainfall in North Carolina as well, which is certainly a concern because, where the rain falls in the state, it has to all go somewhere, and that could cause some, flash flooding and some freshwater river flooding, which is certainly not something we want to deal with, but with areas saturated with thunderstorms and things from the past month, something we have to watch out for in the least. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. If you have any questions, feel free to just post them on the comments, and I will get to them as soon as possible. Starting out here with the infrared satellite imagery, really the satellite presentation of Hurricane Sally is the best that it's actually looked, and there are three things that are certain: death, taxes, and hurricanes intensifying upon landfall in 2020. That is another thing that Sally is attempting to do, getting organized. I can jump over to this tweet from the owner of the Tropical Tidbits website saying, "Evening recon aircraft finding that Hurricane Sally has strengthened some this evening. Max winds have ticked upward to 85 miles per hour. Winds of about 70 miles per hour beginning to move onshore along the coast of Alabama near Mobile and along the coast down here in Pensacola." This really looks like a Mobile-Pensacola special with this storm in terms of the maximized area of rainfall. And again, Sally is trying to get its act together as it is approaching the coast, the Gulf Coast in Alabama and Florida there. So again, we can jump out here and see a very busy picture across the Atlantic Basin right now. We have Hurricane Sally approaching its Gulf Coast landfall. We have Hurricane Paulette, which made landfall in Bermuda, the tiny island right here, 2 days ago, and is now moving out to sea, weakening, no threat to the U.S. mainland. We have Tropical Storm Teddy, which will intensify into, it's forecast to become a major hurricane as it continues moving out toward the northwest. Still one to watch. It looks like a cold front that is going to help move Sally out will help move Teddy out as well, but we'll have to keep an eye on Teddy to it really bears watching, if you know what I mean. And then for Tropical Storm Vicky, expected to weaken later tonight. And then we have another area of interest down here coming south of the Cabo Verde Islands. And then we have another area of interest. If I toggle over to the 5-day outlook, you can see where these things are headed. This actually turns into a high chance of a formation in the next 5 days, and that would be the last name on the English list. That would be Tropical Storm Wilfred. And then after Tropical Storm Wilfred, we would move to the Greek alphabet. So we would begin to name our storms Alpha, Omega, Epsilon, and all the Greek names because we have already exhausted all of the names for this hurricane season already. And it's only September 15th. The hurricane season goes through November 30th. So we'll have to keep an eye on everything. And we might have a lot of storms through the Greek alphabet because this active pattern is expected to continue. So, but again, the main story right now that we're all dealing with is Sally. So I'm going to jump over here to Sally's. The key messages from the National Hurricane Center: historic, life-threatening flash flooding, some very bold choice words there, due to rainfall, is likely through Wednesday along and just inland the coast from Florida Panhandle, west of the Apalachicola River to far southeastern Mississippi. And you can read the rest, but historic, life-threatening flash flooding, that's kind of a buzz line that you can see there. That's really an important feature to this storm is going to be the rainfall, and very significant. I'll jump over to the rainfall graphic here. You can view these key messages at your own leisure, but I will jump over to here to show you the serious swath of rain that's expected. So here is Alabama, here is Florida, here is southeastern Mississippi. Earlier in the week, it looked like Mississippi was going to get in on more of the heavier rainfall, but that looks to have shifted just to the east of the center of the storm, which is currently about right here. I'll show you a radar loop in a few minutes to show you where exactly the storm is. But this is the rainfall projection, and you can see this, fuchsia, pink, whatever color you see here, area, and this little bullseye down here, this dark purple area. That is a bullseye of greater than 20 inches. Those are colors we have not seen since Hurricane Barry last year and since Hurricane Florence in 2018. Those are some very high forecast rainfall totals. Anytime you're talking, about measuring rainfall in feet, possibly 2 feet of rain, that's a serious situation, and that's what they're going to be dealing with down in southern Alabama, northwestern panhandle of Florida, and as you can see on a swath all the way up through, eastern Alabama, through central Georgia, northwestern upstate South Carolina, and through North Carolina as well. And that's what part of the concern is for North Carolina now, is that over the Metro Atlanta area and over the foothills of the mountains and the southern mountains as well, dealing with all this rain from the remnants of Sally as a cold front kind of lines up and pushes the storm away. It's going to create a lot of heavy rain over North Carolina with the remnants, even though the storm is several hundred miles away now on Friday, and Friday through Saturday, late Thursday as well. Let me get that in order for you. Late Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday, going to be a rainy period for North Carolina as this storm slowly moves off. So certainly a concern there. The flash flooding potential, another way to show the rainfall without getting too hung up on numbers. This pink area is reserved for very dangerous cases of flash flooding where a lot of rain is going to fall in a short period of time. And then this red category is the moderate risk for flash flooding, and then yellow and green, of course, decrease in risk. But you can see that extending all the way up now through upstate South Carolina into Metro Atlanta, into Charlotte area. Gastonia is in here, Rutherfordton, Hendersonville. All these areas in here are still in that moderate risk for flooding, and the storm doesn't know where these boundaries are, but these are the best forecast that with the guidance we have that we can give to prepare for the possibility for dangerous flash flooding. So don't get too hung up on the boundaries. Just know that it's going to be a very rainy period in North Carolina from late Thursday through Saturday morning, and through Thursday through Friday. Really, Saturday is a little bit outside of the forecast, but anyway, jumping back to what matters here, the forecast cone. So we have here, Hurricane Sally currently sitting just off the coast. And actually, I'm going to jump ahead now and show you the radar, actually, to show you where the storm actually is. And you can see, this is the loop over the past 17, 18, 19, at least 8 hours or so. And you can see the minimal movement of Hurricane Sally as it's just kind of tumbling here in the Gulf of Mexico. The center of circulation right in here, you can see it trying to clear out an eye feature, and then it will kind of fill back in. I'm kind of struggling with its intensity, luckily, but still maintaining itself as it approaches the Alabama coast. Here's Alabama, here is KMOB, the Mobile, Alabama radar. Here is Pensacola, here is the northwestern panhandle of Florida. But overall, a serious situation unfolding, because this is just going to keep pulling in this moisture from the Atlantic and just keep relentlessly pouring rain as it continues to move. And now I'm going to jump back over to the forecast cone and show you where exactly I was talking about. This H indicates hurricane. That's where it's going to be 7 p.m. tonight, which is already passed. So I wonder if this graphic will update. I guess not. But the 1 p.m. Wednesday, so 1 p.m. tomorrow. So this is greater than 12 to 18 hours out. It's just then going to be over the Alabama-Florida border. And then 1 a.m. Thursday, just over here as a weakened tropical storm over southern Alabama. 1 p.m. Thursday. So we're talking, 24 hours from now, it's just still going to be in Alabama or western Georgia, the center of the circulation, still pulling in moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. So still going to be a serious situation, even though it's going to be a few days removed from landfall. As it moves into South Carolina as a depression, it's going to combine with a cold front here. I should use blue for cold front to stay with the standard convention. We have a cold front that's going to be pushing in here. It's going to give us great feeling weather to the north of it, but everyone to the south of the cold front, which includes all of North Carolina, is going to get a big swath of rain that sets up here with the remnants of Sally, and it's going to cause a lot of rainfall in North Carolina and Virginia over the next couple of days. So again, to just illustrate that, here is the GFS, the Global Forecast System. That's the American model, the total accumulated precipitation in inches. And I'm going to, each time I advance here, it's 6 hours into the future, and you can clearly see the path that the core of the storm takes. And then on Thursday morning, it starts to get interesting for North Carolina. We have those pink and deeper, warmer color shades coming into North Carolina, cutting across central North Carolina and the Triangle Metro area, and then all the way up to southeastern Virginia and the Hampton Roads area. So, originally Virginia was never forecast to be in here, but the trends are that it's going to combine with this cold front and cause a large swath of rain that's going to be very impactful, and it's going to cause some headaches for western North Carolina and probably a lot of flash flooding. There's going to be a lot of flash flood warnings. Your phones are going to be buzzing with that wireless emergency alert saying, flash flood warning. So you just have to bear with that and know that it's going to be an active few days with a lot of heavy rain. I see a couple of questions here. Doug says, of course, Doug. Interested in the rain totals for northern border counties Saturday. Yeah, that's going to be a real interesting, something that called a sting jet may form and kind of enhance rainfall totals around here. We'll really have to keep an eye on that also happened with Tropical Storm Michael back in 2018. The storm came up this way, and there was a localized area of heavier rain and stronger winds that caused a lot of damage. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that. Hi Caleb, hi Brandy, hi Anthony, Rena, Cameron, Casey, Sabrina, Garrett, Amy, Heather, thank you all for joining. At least 2 to 3, at least the latest guidance. Yeah, so the concerning trend is that, the guidance continues to increase as we are getting closer to the, 0 hour of the event. So it's trending wetter, it's trending like a more wetter storm, and I hesitate to show you the model data because, the model data is performing a snapshot in time. So it's kind of tricky to look at that and be able to really glean a lot of information from it. But overall, what you need to just focus on more is this graphic. If I can get back to it. I guess not. Here we go. This graphic here with the flash flooding potential is really what you need to focus on. Don't worry about how many inches fall in your backyard. It's great for bookkeeping purposes, but the overall impact is really going to be upstate South Carolina. I'm really concerned for upstate South Carolina and the Charlotte metro region as this continues to, go up this Interstate 85 corridor right here, the highway in through this region, something like that, the 85 corridor, roughly. It's going to look like an I-85 special as we see with some snowstorms sometimes around here. It's going to look like, a lot of heavy rain, and this is in addition to the already waterlogged grounds of a lot of areas from thunderstorms last month. I know in Raleigh last month they picked up 8 inches of rain, so at the Raleigh-Durham airport. So again, you don't need the excess rain, and that's exactly what's coming with Hurricane Sally. So jumping back over to the radar as I start to wrap up here, the storm is crawling. It's moving at 2 miles per hour. You can walk faster than Hurricane Sally right now is approaching the coast, and it's just going to keep dumping rain over these areas, and some astounding rainfall totals are likely the result of it. National Hurricane Center using the words like historic, life-threatening, flash flooding, so certainly a situation to take seriously, and we'll have to update. I'll do another update video tomorrow, of course, and the storm will not be very far from where it is now, probably maybe 100 miles, 150 miles inland, but it will still, the rain will not have started in North Carolina yet. That's coming Thursday into early Friday as well, but we'll have to keep an eye on what Sally does and see, what to expect from the storm, and kind of we can see how it plays out in motion. I will say this with the caveat as I'm wrapping up here that sometimes the models can go really gung-ho with the rain and really jump on and over-predict. This was done with Isaias. I don't have the case up right now to show you, but they were projecting a lot more rain. They, being models, are projecting a lot more rain with Isaias a couple of months ago, back in, was that July? Good gracious, I can't believe it's been that long. I guess that was early August when that storm came through, but a lot of the rain was, forecasted, 3 to 5 inches across North Carolina, and just didn't materialize. And sometimes models can be a little aggressive with that. So I don't show all these numbers to scare you, but I just show it to say that's the potential, that's the ceiling for this event. There could be, several inches of rain, 4 to 5 inches, maybe 6 inches of rain locally in North Carolina, causing some flash flooding problems in urban areas. That's all I really have for this video. I'll do another one tomorrow night when the storm has moved inland and hopefully made a landfall. Right now it's kind of just wobbling around, but we will see how Hurricane Sally continues to move, and we will track it as it comes inland and see how it's going to deal with, or see how we're going to deal with the flooding rains from Hurricane Sally with its remnants here in North Carolina. So thanks to everyone for tuning in. Feel free to share the video. If you have any questions or comments, comment below, send me a message. Any of the above, and I will be on another update video tomorrow night. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.